Way now, it's Sunday morning when I'm recording this. A nice cup of coffee in my favorite Japanese coffee cup. This was a gift from family over in Japan, and love it. Coffee tastes better out of this. So, Mike, this is for you, MGK Boston, working on a thread, Spell Ireland with artists or bands spelling out the word Ireland. So, Mike, I have upped the challenge a little bit for myself. My last name begins with Fitz, so you can guess that I've got Irish heritage. So I felt like I needed to dig a little bit deeper. And I'll tell you what, I spent way too much time on this and got flummoxed. One of the things about doing these contests, I find, is you start to look for things that you thought you owned or you owned at one time. And suddenly you realize, I don't have them anymore. I can't find them. And I spent quite a bit of time on something that I tried to find because I thought it would be so perfect and I couldn't find it. So these kinds of things for me bring out the obsessive in all of us maybe, but I'll just speak for myself. I can get kind of a little OCD about things, trying to make them perfect. So Mike, it's not a green beer or it's not a beer just because it's like just about noon and it's not St. Patrick's Day and I'm not a huge beer drinker. But anyways, Ireland. So here's my variation on this. I am doing songs or albums by Irish artists. So I'm not just spelling Ireland with artists that begin with the letter I or begin with those letters, but everything is Irish. So I'm going to start with The Pogues, If I Should Fall from Grace with God. So the album, If I Should Fall from Grace with God. This is a classic. It's got Fairy Tale of New York and the title track, which is great. On this tour, Joe Strummer played guitar. Always regret that I didn't manage to catch that one. Friends went, fantastic. But the Pogues, If I Should Fall from Grace with God. There's your I. R. See if you can guess before I even pick it. This is the most populist one that I've chosen, and that would be Rattle and Hum, U2. I don't think I need to say a lot about that, but certainly Irish descent and Rattle and Hum. So that's the R in Ireland. E was one of the most difficult ones for me to find, and I'm not super happy with my choice, I have to tell you. I did have an Enya record at one time, Mike. Could not find it. So My Bloody Valentine, and the song is on this EP, 12-inch, Emptiness Inside. So there we go. But this one really truly is, finding the barrel of just trying to barely make the requirements of your thread. So I'm not super proud of it, but My Bloody Valentine, Irish band, Emptiness Inside. That's the E, I-R-E. L, well, again, this one is not unpopular, Lion and the Cobra. So the album by Sinead O'Connor, and again, well-known. First album, just a rocker, fantastic record. So then A, so this is where I got really stuck because I was thinking alternative Ulster, stiff little fingers. And I've had that in various compilations, and I was on my hands and knees crawling around trying to find it on CD, on various compilation records, could not find it. So one of the things I mentioned before is that I have had some water damage to my records and had to throw out crates of records. So we've all lost records at some point, either when we abandoned vinyl and decided we were all going digital and getting CDs, or through water damage. There's a lot of you out there, I think, who've had vinyl that's been affected by water damage. And I'm one of them. So after all crawling around and not being able to find alternative Ulster, I knew that I would probably my second most, well, the four artists I had the most of probably are Elvis Costello, Elvis Costello, Van Morrison, Bob Dylan, and Neil Young. I'm guessing the most. Maybe Elvis is the most. But anyways, I thought, okay, Van Morrison, I can probably fill in any letter that I can't find. So A, there was lots. Interestingly, I was first thinking Astral Weeks, and I couldn't find it. I have virtually doubles of almost every Van Morrison record, and I have no Astral Weeks. I should be arrested. How could I call myself a member of the vinyl community with no Astral Weeks? So I'm going to have to go out there and take care of that. But Avalon Sunset, very nice. Used to be called a late career Van Morrison, but this is like 1989, I think. Yeah, 1989. Late career, I think it means late life for me, because that's now 31 years ago, and Van keeps putting out music. But Avalon Sunset, really nice. It's got that track, Coney Island is on here, I think, isn't it? Yeah, Coney Island's on that. Just one of the most beautiful, beautiful, beautiful songs in his repertoire. All right, now we're getting down to the last. So that's A. So IRELA. I had to really stretch with this one. The last two I had to stretch. I have to tell you, I'm not feeling like this is the best entry. Thematically, I thought, wow, this is a great challenge. And then the output, so-so. So, and the undertones. I mean, I had to have the undertones on here. Again, I was sitting there going through my undertones records going, there must be songs with letters that spell out Ireland, that begin with a letter that spells out the word Ireland. Not so much. I wish Ireland had the letter T in it so I could bring up my old Teenage Kicks 7-inch single, but no such luck. So, 9 times out of 10, to be honest, not one of their greatest songs. And this is their second record. So-so record, not necessarily their best record. There's some good stuff on here, but 9 times out of 10, the undertones. And now, maybe my biggest stretch of all, the letter D for a song. I know what you're thinking. Elvis Costello isn't Irish. Well, it's true, but he has Irish heritage. So any of you who don't know, his full name is Declan Patrick Aloysius McManus, I believe. Mick, I guess, sounds pretty Scottish. But his father, the band leader, if you read any of his bio material, the band leader in England is of Irish descent. So yes, I was really stretching it, but I was having a hard time finding D. D would go for a song that I think is a tremendous song, actually. So at least on the song, I wasn't cheapening. So Deep, Dark, Truthful Mirror. Love that song. It's a really nice record. This is actually the CD of this, I think was the first CD I bought. And so Elvis Costello, a.k.a. Declan Patrick Aloysius McManus, Irish heritage. There we go. Ireland. Mike, top of the day to you. And to all the rest of you, MGK Boston and his Ireland thread. See if you can join along. Bye-bye.